Today, man, I'm gonna go over something that literally just happened to us. It's shocking, it's alarming. We got scammed. Basically $3,000 load, and pay attention because I'm gonna tell you how this happened.
Twin Rivers Hotshot.
All right, for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Brad. I have a hotshot trucking company called Twin Rivers Transport. Basically, we hotshot freight all over the nation, and I'm gonna go into something that has really been going on bad the last couple years, and it is double brokering. So before I go on, if any of you guys have been double brokered, write me a comment. I'd love to hear about it. The level that these guys went through to get this load moved, you know, it's very alarming. Everything checked out. So what happened was one of our guys needed a load. We go to book him a load. We get on the load board. It loaded in Overland Park. It was 2 picks, 1 drop. It had another pick in Baltimore, Maryland, and then it dropped off in New Jersey. Some of the things that we look for, first things first, what we do anytime we book a load, I take their MC number and I paste it into our factoring company's website. And what that does is it'll tell us the company. This one was Front Runner Logistics. When I took their MC number and I copied it into Apex, their MC number was good. If we're not set up with them, another thing that we do is we look at their email. This one is Ben at front.info. Okay, he has a company email. So we booked a load. It was for 2,700. Well, when he replied back on the email, he had his office phone number in his signature. Everything looked good. They had the logo, like of a Roadrunner. So I called his office number. Almost sounds like a call center, but he didn't say, hey, this is Ben at Front Runner. He didn't say Front Runner Logistics. He just said hello. I say, hey, you know, is this flexible? These ISO tanks are pretty big. They're heavy. You know, can we do 2,900? And he said, look, man, if you guys on time, you send me pictures and you answer emails that I'm asking for, I'll give you 2,900. Deal. So my guy runs these tanks, does everything by the book. He's on time. When he sent the final pictures, he sent the pictures of our logo on our door with the load behind it. So I'm out of town doing another kind of job that I do. I was doing an audio video lighting job in Longview, Texas, and I was there for a couple of days and basically get a phone call. I answer, he said, hey, is this Brad with Twin Rivers? And I said, yes sir, it is. Hey man, I'm just calling you because we have an issue. He said, you guys are hauling one of my loads. It's like, okay. Those ISO tanks from Overland Park, Kansas, going to Jersey. He said, that's my load. It's been double brokered. I was sick when I heard that. I booked this load to UB Logistics. He said, I'm very particular. I want to see the paperwork once it gets picked up. You know, I want to see pictures of the load on the trailer. And he said, basically, I was asking them, send me the picture of the paperwork. He said he saw Twin Rivers on the outbound paperwork. He said right then he knew something, probably was going on. And then the final pictures before the load was dropped, he saw the Twin Rivers logo. He booked this load to UB Logistics. He said he looked us up at, FMCSA Safer. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, basically, if you're trying to look up a company, a carrier, or a broker, You type in their MC number, a company snapshot comes up. And what I mean is Twin Rivers came up, owners, our name, office phone number, when we were established, who we used for insurance, all of that popped up. He got our office phone and basically was calling and got a hold of my wife, and my wife gave him my number. Yeah, I started talking to him and I said, okay, well, I booked this load. I credit check everybody we do business with. And what I'm saying is, when you credit check somebody, that just says that they're paying their bills. They've been in business, they're paying their bills, and I'm not saying it makes you safe by any means, but it weeds out a lot of that riffraff. And what I'm saying is, there's brand new brokerages that are brand new, just trying to make their name right, and that's good, right? But unfortunately, there's people that, I don't know if they're buying MCs from people going out of business, or they're going out of business, or they form an entity and just try to run up debt for 30, 60, 90 days, close down, file bankruptcy, they keep all the money, right? And unfortunately, that's what happens. So we credit check everybody we do business with. If they're not approved, we don't run for them. And we've been going for over 3 years now, and this was the first time that we have ran into this issue. So I start talking to this guy. This guy's out of Fort Worth. He sees my company's out of Fort Worth, and he still doesn't even really he's just, he thinks he caught somebody. Well, when I tell him, hey, I booked this load under Front Runner, they had a $10,000 credit line with Apex Capital. And basically this created a whole whirlwind. My wife calls Apex. Apex immediately locks their company down. They found 2 other places that had ran these loads for Front Runner, and Apex had already advanced that money. What's going to happen in that situation is the carrier that ran that load and took the advance from our factoring company is going to have to pay that money back. What he told me was he was dealing with a lady, and this same company got this lady for over $10,000. And he didn't catch it in time, but he said since then, in 2 months, this has happened to him 4 times. 4 times. So he knew exactly what to do. Unfortunately, with us, it was our first time. I was telling Joe, I said, that's his name, Joe. I was telling him, man, this is crazy, man. Like, the stuff we're going through right now to move loads. I credit check a company, their credit's good. I call, I'm going back and forth. Everything seems like it's on the up and up. They got a business email. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, the business email, but let me give you an example. That'd be like somebody trying to hack my company and then using a Twin Rivers email to get the load moved. We own Twin Rivers Transport's domain. So nobody else can get a domain with the Twin Rivers Transport. It's ours. So Joe and I decided we wanted to 3-way them. They didn't answer our phone calls. We started an email thread with everybody copied in. They didn't respond. They knew they were caught, right? And basically Joe said, hey, look, I'm making sure you pay these guys before I sell you the money. How he originally caught it was when they sent him the Zelle QR code, UB Logistics, that email was spelled wrong. 2 words, 2 letters in logistics were flipped. That's what started it. I was pissed off one night just thinking about it, like what they tried to do to us. So Joe originally booked a load for $2,050. They turned around and gave it to us for $2,900, right? They had no intention of paying us. And that's one of the ways this double brokering works. Another one would be that in reverse. Joe gives it to them for $2,900. They give it to me for $2,050 and pay, right? And just skim off the top. That goes on a lot more than you think. But I was sitting there pissed off at the computer one day thinking, you know what, I ain't gonna let these guys get away with this. I reported them to DAT, we reported them to truck stops, sent them all the email threads. Unfortunately, they're still on there, man. They're still on there. But I was sitting there and I said, hey man, we're a small business, but I promise you one thing, I'm not just gonna roll over on this. No, I'm not. So I started calling, emailing, like trying to book stuff, let it set, like literally gonna be a thorn in their side. And I wrote them a long email and I said, hey man, it's funny. And Joe was copied. I said, it's funny, you're sitting there, you're thinking that you're good, but like this is literally a federal offense. FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. When you do those sales payments and all that, that's fraud, dude. That's wire fraud. I said, you're not going to be very happy when these people come knocking on your door. You keep racking these bills up like this, people at least start looking. And he replied back, pay the driver. This same group of people, I have literally seen them all over the country doing this. What I'm saying, I had a guy in Jersey, Front Runner was up there, same group, they did the same thing. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna mess with these people. So I email on it, and Cameron at FR Freight, blah blah blah, and then after the initial email, Ben pops up, and there's two guys. I started messing with them. Started trying to book loads with them. Try to book loads and just let it sit there, not go pick it up. I mean, what are they gonna do? But anyways, guys, just wanted to make a video. Beware, man. This is crazy.